Hello everyone, this is Vivian and I'm back now. I know it's been a while, but I'm back with another extremely overdressed late night video. And just in case anyone was wondering, this is actually how I dress in real life. The way that I dress in my videos is actually how I dress. So there you go. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about a few things. Everything that has happened with the overturning of Roe versus Wade and all of that. I do definitely want to talk about that because, I know it's been a couple of weeks since this news came out, and it's a really hot topic. So yeah, I have some things that I want to say about it. Okay, so what I've noticed is that, people's reactions, and most people can be divided into two categories on this. So you have the pro-choice, you want to call them so-called liberal people, and then you have the pro-life, so-called conservative people. And what's interesting is that the pro-choice people who are very up in arms about this news, most of them had absolutely no problem with all of the mask and injection mandates, right? They just went along with it and they were forcing it onto people. They were fine with it, right? They were, they're crying my body, my choice, but yet they were okay with those mandates, right? And then you have the pro-life conservative people who for the most part, from what I've seen, a lot of them were more or less against the mask and injection mandates, but they think that this ruling is just great news, that it's just so good that the Supreme Court is on their side, that the Supreme Court cares about you, cares about us, cares about babies and life. And that also couldn't be further from the truth. And they were crying my body, my choice for the, being against the mask and injection mandates. And yet they're perfectly okay with this. So there's hypocrisy all around, just everywhere. It's like a soup of hypocrisy. I feel like I'm just swimming in this soup of hypocrisy over here. And it's just, yeah, I don't understand how people themselves don't understand that they're being hypocritical. And I'm talking about both sides. So listen, I am neither liberal nor conservative. I think I might have some viewers who think that I'm conservative, but I'm not. It's two wings of the same bird, and it's an evil bird. And I don't want anything to do with this bird. So, yeah, just it really bothers me that people don't see that they're being hypocritical and fucktarded in their thinking. And just, of course, one of the reasons why this news came out and why this is a big thing now is, to further divide people even more than they already are, and also to cause more division between the right and the left, between men and women, all this shit, right? All the same usual shit, you know. I'm sick of this shit. But anyway, so, okay, I just don't understand the people who are the so-called conservative pro-life people, when they're for the majority of them have been so against the mandates. And so, you know, like so the thing with the conservatives that I don't get is that they see that there's a lot of problems with the government, and yet they still think that the government is on their side. Like, this is what I see with the liberals. It's like, okay, they want big government, huge government. They want it up. They want the government up their ass with a dildo every day. Like, I get it, okay, but you know, it just, with the conservatives, it's just, I don't know, like, how are you, like, you see that all these mandates and all this other shit that the government has been doing is terrible, and yet you think like, oh, the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court justices, they're on my side. Since when is it a good thing ever to have more government control in our lives? Like, what? Like, because this is what this overturning of Roe versus Wade is about. This is, by the way, regardless of anyone's personal opinion of abortion, okay? It doesn't matter whether you think it's right or you think it's wrong. You know, this is regardless, okay? This puts more government control in our lives directly. The dildo goes further up the ass, the government dildo, okay? I mean, I'm sorry if that's crude, but that's just, that's what it is. As if it hasn't already been, like, just raping us constantly with so many other things. Like, I mean, if I were to come up with a list of ways that the government was constantly raping us, we'd be here forever, and you don't want that. I don't want to be here forever either, right? You know, I have a life. I have things to do besides make videos. So you have things to do besides watch or listen to videos. So yeah, I mean, just, I need some tea. But yeah, I don't know. It's like impossible to talk to most people because they're either one side or the other. They don't see that, like, you know, it's just, it's all a nefarious game that, you know, we're being fucked with in this nefarious game that the government is playing, that the powers that should not be are playing with us. They're fucking with us, okay? And, oh gosh, you know, I brainstormed what I was going to talk about before I got on camera to make the video, and then it sort of evaporated a little bit. But, you know, I'm trying to gather my thoughts over here because I didn't take notes. I took mental notes. So, but yeah, I mean, so either you're my body, my choice, like all across the board, or you're not, or you want something else to control you and tell you what's good for you and what you can do and be your mommy and daddy. Okay? But like, you know, oh, I really can't. I can't. I really think that most people really do want to be controlled. I really do. That's what it seems like to me. Because, you know, you can't pick and choose like what you consider to be my body or my choice or not, right? Like it either is or it isn't. So yeah, I mean, this is a bit late even for me, and I have a long day, so but bear with me, please. So yeah, it's just mind-boggling to me that this is the way that our world is, where people who claim that they want personal autonomy over themselves, they seemingly backtrack on it. And it's just, I don't know. And also, you know, I thought that it should have been made crystal clear that the government is never on your side. They never have your best interest at heart. Okay? And, you know, just like, why? Why should we be told what our rights are by these 9 frickin' creeps in robes who are appointed for life, and they get to like dictate stuff for you and rule over you? Okay? Because this is what this was even called. Like, this is when you read the headlines, like in the news, it says the Supreme Court ruled blah, 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 blah. Okay. And yeah, so they ruled over you. Okay. Okay, honey. Like, nobody should be ruling over you. Just, they shouldn't. You know, like, I just. And, you know, for the people who claim that the abortion issue is not my body, my choice, because the fetus is not the woman's body, well, the fetus is not independent of the woman's body. The fetus it's fully dependent on the woman's body, the pregnant woman's body, because if something happens to the pregnant woman, if the pregnant woman dies, then the fetus does as well. Okay? So, you know, I just, and then people who are claiming like that they're, you know, they're fighting for everyone's rights with the mask and injection mandates are, you know, they were all saying like, yeah, my body, my choice. And now they're claiming that with the abortion issue. No, it's not your body, your choice anymore. Okay. And same thing with on the mostly on the left, these other people they're saying, you know, just that the mask and injection issue, that's not your body, your choice. You don't get to choose that. The government gets to decide, your workplace gets to decide, the state gets to decide, whatever. So like, people, you need to be consistent. I need some consistency from people, okay? Like, this is no good. This is just a total mess. And I'm really sick of it. I'm really sick of it, because we do not need more government control in our lives in any way, shape, or form. Okay? And it's like, so this happened now, then where does it stop? You know what I mean? Like, if they're dictating what must be done, like in terms of medical procedures, what must be done and what cannot be done, where does it end? I even heard that one of these creeps, Clarence Thomas, said that he wanted to, or they, the court, whatever, was next going to come after contraception. And it's just like, what you know what I mean? Like, it's to the point where the government dildo up everyone's ass, it just starts going deeper and deeper, and it's like, whoa. I mean, and some people are obviously just loving that, and I'm not one of them, so sorry, I'm not joining that party. And the most important thing is that you can't legislate morality. Like, people are gonna do what they're gonna do, okay? It's like, you can't just tell someone, that this is like you can do this and you can't do that, and then no, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. Okay? Everyone has different personal beliefs. And so, like, let's say that something that the majority of people hopefully considered to be very wrong, like, let's say pedophilia. So let's say that was legalized all of a sudden, because we know what these creeps who work for the government, we know what they're into. These people in power, we know that they like that. Okay, so what if it suddenly became, like, pedophilia became legalized? Does that mean that it's right? Does that mean that it's good? Does that mean that, like, oh, you just go do it, right? Like, what? I mean, what? And so let me give you an example of something that I think is wrong, but I wouldn't want it to be banned. I'll give you a few examples. Okay, so I think that it's wrong to be vegan from a nutritional and health perspective. I don't agree with veganism, okay, because it's bad for people's health, okay, based on my own experience, based on my own research. I was vegan for a short period of time, very strictly vegan for several months, about 5 years ago, and it was terrible for me. And then when you actually do the research of what the human body requires in terms of nutrition, it's not, you just can't be vegan and optimally healthy. Okay. And I understand if people want to do it because for animals, okay, and that they say that they want to do it for animals, that's fine. But at the same time, yes, I eat meat and animal products, but I can accept someone being vegan. I don't think that veganism should be banned by the government, okay? And as long as someone who's vegan isn't forcing me to become vegan, then that's perfectly fine. Like, that's totally cool with me, okay? And, I'm not gonna force eating meat on them, okay? And we can peacefully coexist, and nothing needs to be banned, okay? Another example is I don't agree with sleeping around and promiscuity. Like, I don't agree with that. I don't think it's good for anyone, for the people who are doing that. Like, it's just not beneficial. It's not a beneficial thing to do. But at the same time, I don't think that should be banned. That, like, oh, let's have the government ban sleeping around, ban promiscuity. Like, no, okay? People have to decide for themselves what they're gonna do, okay? It's their personal responsibility to take action for themselves. And, the government is not, this shouldn't be a nanny state. Like, we can't be having this. Like, and with people's personal, like, religious beliefs, I'm not into organized religion, period, at all, period. Okay? But do I think that organized religions should be banned? No. People can practice them if they wish, as long as they're not forcing their religions onto me. That's fine. It's fine. Okay? So I think you get the point by now. I'm sure you do, that we don't have to just ban things that we don't agree with. People should be free to do what they feel is best for them, okay? And this brings me to another point, which yesterday I saw on Facebook as I was scrolling through my news feed, because, people were talking about the 4th of July, Independence Day, that someone said, I think I saw a comment on a post that, what did this person say exactly? The exact words that this person wrote were that freedom is a luxury and a privilege. And I mean, this person was serious. This person was not being sarcastic or joking. This person was serious. And reading this just about gave me a heart attack, because I mean, if this is how people think, then we are absolutely so fucked. We are so fucked, like beyond fucked, even more than we already are. Like, if people really think that freedom is a luxury and a privilege, I don't even know what to tell these people. I don't know if this is what someone thinks. I just don't know what to tell you. Like, how is freedom a luxury and a privilege? This is a basic right, a basic natural right. Okay? Like, what do you mean? Like, you expect the government to hand out these little privileges to you, that, like, oh yes, you can do this over here, but you can't do that. But oh, over here, yes, you can do this. This is okay. Like, what are we even talking about over here? I mean, what? Like, that really put me at a loss for words. That's actually deeply disturbing. I don't know about you, but for me, that is deeply disturbing that someone would even say that. And I mean, also what the Roe versus Wade thing is about is the right to privacy. Because, you should have the right to make your own medical decisions. That's a private, personal choice, okay? Any medical decision, like anything that you do with yourself, like that, you should absolutely have the right to privacy. And now that's being reversed. So yeah, like I said earlier, where does that even end? I'm so serious when I say that. I really think people want a gigantic government dildo up their ass 24/7, just raping them constantly. I mean, I think it's a fetish for people. I swear, I'm so serious. I think people do get off on being controlled and not making decisions for themselves and not thinking for themselves. And that is just, oh, that is wrong. That is wrong. It's disturbing on so many levels. I pause because I'm thinking about how wrong this is. And it should be so clear by now that these creepy creatures who want to control us, the powers that shouldn't be, the government, whatever you want to call it, all these things, they never want what's best for us. They don't care about us. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. They only care about themselves. They care about their best interests. They care about lining their pockets and their bank accounts, you know, and just also about having power and control, because it's an ego thing for these creatures. They absolutely do not care about you. So stop believing. Anyone who believes that they do have their best interests at heart, like, just no. Okay? No. And then another example that I can bring up, by the way, of something that, you know, I don't like or that I don't agree with and that I wouldn't do myself, but that I wouldn't ban is, you know, birth control, like birth control pills. I mean, I had a video that I made last year talking about why women shouldn't take birth control pills, basically because it's very harmful to women's health and can cause all kinds of negative effects. And, you know, even though I personally would not take birth control pills because of the negative effects and everything, and, you know, I want nothing to do with it, that doesn't mean that I'm going to take it away from somebody else, that I'm going to ban it because I don't like it and I don't agree with it. You know, people, again, they have every right, they should have every right to make their own personal decisions. Okay? And, you know, that's their responsibility to make their own personal decisions. But anyway, so it should be clear that the creatures in power, they view the rest of us as slaves. I mean, that should be clearer now more than ever. They literally view all of us as slaves. They view us all as slaves, us who are here already as slaves. They also view potential future human beings as slaves as well. So that fetus that is developing in a pregnant woman's body, that will eventually become a baby, that will eventually, you know, come out into the world and grow up and become an adult, and they already are seeing it in the womb as a future slave for them. And you know what these creeps are into. If you watch my channel, I'm sure you're the kind of person who's aware of what these disgusting, repulsive creatures are into. Like I said, the pedophilia, they also, with the chrome, ADRENO, chrome, right? They need children for that. They need children for that. They need children for all sorts of things. I mean, child sacrifice is a very real thing with these creatures. It is. And, I'm talking about child sacrifice once, I'm not talking about in the womb. I'm talking about actually when it's like a child and they can really get some energy out of it and do all kinds of, oh my God, repulsive things, right? Also, need I remind everyone that what's going on with the magical injection agenda that a lot of people have gotten, I mean, like, don't you think that that's related to what's going on with the Roe versus Wade thing and banning abortions? Because I personally do. Because I think that this is human experimentation. I really think that. Because these are going to be genetically modified humans. As if we're not already genetically modified enough from the genetically modified food and all the, chemicals in everything. I mean, this is taking it to a whole nother level with these magical injections that so many people have gotten. And I just don't understand these people who are on the pro-life side who think that what the Supreme Court did is so great, and yet they were totally against the injection mandates, and they're not, processing that in their heads and coming to that conclusion of what I just said, how it's related. I think the future of humanity doesn't look too bright, unfortunately. I hate to be the bearer of bad news or to be too negative, but that's just the way that I see it. And certainly if people think that freedom is a luxury and a privilege, then wow. And if you're gonna keep listening to the news about everything, and now we have monkeypox, oh my God, like all of this crap, like they already have the magical injections for the monkeypox. Like in New York City, I read an article a couple of weeks ago that in New York City, they're already giving out the magical injections for monkeypox. I mean, if this doesn't tell you everything you need to know, like how asleep can you possibly be to just continue to go along with it? You must literally be just a mindless automaton to just keep going along with all of this. I mean, like, let's take a step back from our TVs, from the media, from social media, from let's take a step back and let's just sit with ourselves, like individually. I mean, like individually in your own space by yourself. Like, let's just sit there and let's use our brains. Let's think, let's meditate, let's just, and I'm not forcing this on you, because that's my thing. Like, just nothing should ever be forced on anyone. Okay. But I'm just saying that this could possibly be how to unprogram people, is if they turn it all off, shut off all the external noise, and just sit with themselves and like just be there alone by yourself, thinking and feeling and using your intuition to come to conclusions rather than having other people tell you what's what. Okay? Like, again, my video, you know, I have this YouTube channel. I make videos sometimes where I share my opinion and my thoughts, but that's what it is. I'm not forcing anything on anyone. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Okay? And we can coexist. I'm not sure how you can really coexist though with someone who thinks that freedom is a luxury and a privilege though. See, that is, because see, that's just completely anti-life. If you're against freedom and you think that it should just be handed out to you instead of like that it's naturally yours, I might have to have a talk with this person. I don't know this person, but we might have to sit down and have a discussion. Maybe get some brain cells going in here. Maybe get some, you know, sparks going in the brain and in the heart too, because the heart has its own intelligence and intuition. So, and you know, I'm being serious with that. I really am. But anyway, today I feel like I have this tea a lot. This is chamomile and ginger tea. So yeah. There is definitely something that I wanted to say, and it just escaped me. I hate when that happens. When I have everything planned out that I'm gonna say, planned out in my head, and then you get on camera and it's like, whoa, don't know what happened, and then I end up looking like an airhead. But okay, I know that I'm not an airhead, so it's totally fine. But there was something that I wanted to say, and it's driving me crazy. So I'm gonna try to think really quickly of what that was, because there was an important point that I wanted to make. Okay. So anyway, I blanked on it, and I just absolutely hate when that happens. But oh, there was, okay, I just remembered it. Okay, so an important thing to take note of is that the news of this Roe versus Wade overturning this Supreme Court ruling came out on June 24th of this year, 2022, which is, if you break down the date, it is 666, because June, of course, is 6, 24, 2 plus 4 is 6, and then 2022, 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. And so 666. And I just absolutely do not think that this was a coincidence of any kind that this came out on this date, because this is a whole nefarious agenda. Anyone who thinks that it's not, I don't know what to tell you. Of course, what's been going on with the injections is terrible. But yeah, I thought that was important to point out to people, because we know how these disgusting creatures work. They do things by the numbers. They have their own, like, you know, all this shit that they do. They plan shit out, like, way in advance. And I mean, we all know this. So this shouldn't be surprising to us. It wasn't surprising to me once I looked at it. I looked at the date and I looked at the news, and I was like, okay, yeah. Okay. I see what they're doing there. So, yeah. Anyway, I have my T quotes here. And by the way, I don't always agree with what these T quotes say. I do not always agree with the quotes, but I'm not going to boycott this good tea that I like, and I'm not going to just like not buy it and not drink the tea because I don't agree with some of the quotes. Because maybe some of the quotes are, you know, sort of maybe a little too new agey or just like fake positivity or something. No, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm still gonna drink the tea. Okay. So anyway, this first quote here says, "Celebrate your successes and failures, both required great courage." I mean, I do agree with that. Because success takes a lot of hard work. And, you know, failure also takes bravery and courage, because if if you fail, at least you attempted to do it. You know what I mean? You at least went for it. You might have failed, but you probably learned something from it too. So it's not a waste, and you shouldn't feel bad for failing. Okay, so that was a good one. This one says, "It is the light in the lantern which shows you the path, not the lantern." I think I had this quote in my previous video. And yeah, I take that to mean that it's what's inside that matters and not outside. Okay, so because I know based on appearances, I know that a lot of people think that I'm like a very superficial person, and that, you know, that's all there is to me, that I just care about like looking cute and like dressing nice, and that's it, and that like I care about other people's appearance and all of that. And you know, that's not true. There's obviously a lot more to me, and like, you know, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to like, you know, discuss everything that I am, but I'm sure you get the point. So that brings me to another, like, this is maybe a funny point, but you know, it's true that I do like to dress nice, and I have a very specific sense of aesthetics. But yeah, you know, those disgusting shoes, the Crocs, those just, oh, they're so hideous. They're just absolutely hideous. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing Crocs. And I don't think it's flattering on anyone to wear that. But at the same time, again, I'm not gonna go around taking them away from people. I'm not gonna, you know, ban them. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, the government should ban Crocs, whatever. Oh, but that actually brings me to my other point that's not really related to the quote. It's just like my mind is like going off. I'm like having these things happen with my thoughts right now. But anyway, so the government, it's not even real. Okay? It's basically this fictional entity that we've all agreed, maybe not myself individually, maybe not you on an individual level, but just the collective consciousness has agreed that this thing called government, literally mind control, that's what it means, that it has power, that it has authority. When really, it's nothing. Like, what even is it? It's not even, where does government exist in nature? You know, I guarantee you that if government went away tomorrow or today, whatever, like overnight, like life would go on. It would go on. We don't need it for our survival. we've just agreed that this thing, that, you know, this monstrosity has power over us, and that we have to do what it says. Like, what does that even mean? Right? It kind of sounds like government is trying to play God, which it also is when it interferes in our personal decisions and in our personal lives and medical decisions. But anyway, on to the next quote. So this one says, "Give thanks for unknown blessings that are already on the way." I mean, would I say that this is like overly positive? I don't know. I mean, because you never know what could happen, right? You could have something positive right around the corner. You might just be ready to give up on something, but then whatever you were wishing for, what you wanted to happen, something that you needed, it comes up for you. And yeah, so there you go. So yeah, thank you for watching. That was my video for today. And I appreciate your time and energy. You'll see me next time.